Yes, how are you, class? Hope you're doing well. And welcome to our class Social Studies today. And we want to look at the winds, as we had started that area on the winds. So basically, we want to look at this, and we're talking about winds. So, what are winds? We say that wind is a term used to refer to a mass of moving air. So the point here is mass of moving air. So it's a mass of moving air. So it is a lot continuous going together, and it's a collective of collection of what you call wind. So that's what you call mass, collective of what you call mass of moving air. That's what you're calling wind. So it is caused by different air pressure. It's caused by different air pressure at different places. The winds that can be blowing within Nairobi are totally different to the winds that can be blowing in the western region of this country. And therefore, that's why they are caused by different air at different places. So we find that winds originate from the high pressure to the low pressure region. So winds that are high pressure, especially within the mountains, it's different from what you call on the lowlands. These are highlands and these are lowlands. So that's a totally difference. And that is why we are saying they originate from the highest region to the lowest region that has low pressure. So warm, moist winds bring a lot of rainfall. These are warm and moist. These bring rainfall. Very important on bringing what we call rainfall. Then we also have what we call there's a thing that is coming here clearly known as windward side and mountain. These are the places. This is the place whereby on the side where receives a lot of rainfall. This is now what we're calling the windward side. And the other part that receives less rainfall or little rainfall is called leeward side. So types of winds, we have one of them is prevailing winds. So prevailing winds, they have specific characters. We say they blow through a certain region at a particular time of the year. They blow through a certain region at particular time of the year. If maybe these prevailing winds always blow during October, during September, they will only blow during September, and after that period they will have to end and until the next year or the following year and such a like a time. And that is what we mean by they have to blow at a certain time of the year. That's very important. So we also say that they blow in the same direction. They only blow within the same direction. If it's toward east-west, if it's from east to west, it is east-west. They don't change again west to south. No. That's why we are calling them prevailing winds. So we also have the second type of winds. We call them onshore winds. Onshore winds, they are winds that do what? Blow towards the land. Why towards the land? These are the winds that they usually cause rainfall. They bring rainfall, and they are being called onshore winds. They blow from the ocean coming to the land. So they are called onshore winds, and they cause rainfall. So we want to look at so as you said, the next type of wind we're talking about is offshore winds. Offshore winds, they blow towards the sea from the land. So they're coming from the land and they're going to the sea. That's why they're called offshore. Those ones that come from the sea to the land, they're called onshore. So the opposite of onshore is offshore. And also we realize that onshore winds cause rainfall. Offshore winds do not cause rainfall. So blowing towards the sea, so that they usually do not cause rainfall. So the next and the last type of wind, we are calling it warm, moist winds. Warm, moist winds. So they contain a lot of moisture. These are winds that contain a lot of moisture, and so therefore, when they have a lot of moisture, automatically they will cause rainfall. So they are called rain-bearing winds, which bring rain within the land. And example of them, we talk about northeast monsoon winds that brings what you call rainfall. Then we have major types or major winds in Eastern Africa. Major winds in Eastern Africa. So one of the major winds in Eastern Africa, we are talking about northeast trade winds. Northeast trade winds. Northeast trade winds. And we say that they originate from Arabian Desert. This is in Saudi Arabia, in the Asia. So you realize that and they blow across the Red Sea. So they are blowing across the Red Sea and then the Sudan. And you realize that Sudan, the part of Sudan and Egypt, they contain what you call, they have what you call this region desert called Sahara Desert. So when these winds come to this desert, already they are dry, so they cannot cause rainfall. So they do not cause rainfall. So then we also have, we say these winds are dry and they do not cause the rainfall. So the last bunch of what we call major winds in Eastern Africa, we are calling it southeast monsoon wind. So we have, this was A. Now B, we are calling it as southeast trade winds. Southeast trade winds, called southeast trade winds. They originate from southeast and they blow over Indian Ocean. So when they are blowing towards Indian Ocean, across the Indian Ocean, then we say hence they are warm and moist. So they cause rain in Eastern Africa. They cause rain in Eastern Africa or Africa Highlands. So they cause rain in Eastern Africa or Eastern Highlands. So that one brings us to what we call, to the end of what we call the winds. And now the only thing that is remaining, we shall be looking at what we call ocean currents, and we shall see how the ocean currents, what is the ocean current and how are these ocean currents move from one region to another. So we talk about winds, so we'll be looking at the ocean currents and evaluate them, how these are moving. Otherwise, have a nice